Can't say I miss those feelings. Can't say it. I feel you though, girl. I feel you. I support you.
Like I feel right now, it's funny, I feel pain in my uterus.
I get cranky.
Well, I've been a little bit, not cranky today, but like Cal's gotten on my nerves.
Like short. Like
not short, it's just
that's
like.
how I get.
What?
I get short. Like, ugh.
I get more
Like-
just like things annoy me.
Yeah.
I basically told Cal today that I felt like he was like, I guess like telling me what to do. That's why I was resisting him.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys.
Man. Cover it, Lord. No, you missed her freak out.
Who?
Kristen's.
Kristen freaked out?
Mm-hmm.
And what I have?
Well, Halloween's party is a week from now. Less than a week, if you want to be technical. And I said, why isn't that up on the computer? On the website?
Yeah, it's huge.
Huge. I had to see Utopia Yoga. And then not then. I came over after Bella. Because Bella was asking questions about their website, which a little bit annoyed her. Because none of Bella's paintings were on the website.
Mm-hmm.
And then I only walked over because I was thinking, how is Bella selling all of these things if it's not on the website? And it makes sense to me. But then when I saw the website up, I said, whoa. Where's the Halloween stuff? And then when she said, oh, I haven't had a chance to put it up, I said, oh, like, you know, not anything, well, not even against her, but like, come on, you know, it's like setting up to fail. And then she was like, I got so much to do, this and that. And then she just freaked out after that one. I was like, and she started crying, and she went outside. And I said, well, everybody, Kristen needs more time on the computer. I said, Kristen, you gotta say something, you know. Now, guess what's gonna happen if the Halloween party fails? Guess who they're gonna blame? There's one person they're gonna blame. Exactly.
But really, it's not about that.
But you know what I mean? I feel something. And so, oh, it is a spider web.
I didn't suggest, when I created a computer schedule, I didn't suggest that everyone get a half hour. That's not necessary. Not everyone needs to go on the computer.
So her point was other people are on the computer looking up like
Exactly.
stuff that doesn't need to be done.
Exactly.
And if you knew you needed time and you knew you had a date on Sunday of last week and a time, it should have been done. You know what I mean? That I don't have patience for that kind of stuff. Because for me, if it's going to hinder me, I'm going to say something. I'm not going to. And I told her,
100%.
I said, who do you think they're going to who am I going to blame? I'm going to blame you. If it's not done, I'm going to blame you because it should have been done. Now, if people don't come, that's another thing.
I think the computer schedule has to change. It should not be about everyone gets a half hour. Because that's not, this place is not about being on the computer. It's for the use of making sure our website's up to date for events that we're having. Then next can be like the RSVPing to events. Well, website maintenance in general, things for sale, all that stuff should be priority. And then next is
She
like
opened up a
RSVPing to
can of
events.
worms that she can't eat when everyone started making their own businesses.
especially that I think the mentality is still there. Like, people aren't helping each other. Like, no one even helped to do the tour during Utopia Yoga.
And I finally realized what people meant by who's pulling their weight and what's not. I get what people are saying now.
Why? Who's been saying what? I haven't been a part of these talks. I'm not really a part of the gossip circle,
No,
so.
no, not talks. I understand it as just me. No one. I was talking to myself. Wasn't answering, but I was talking to myself.
What do you mean?
You know, people who's been busy, who's not doing things, you know, when people say that.
What does Kristen do aside from the computer? That's why the fact that she can't get this done. What is she doing all this time?
So,
She doesn't work in the garden. Oh, I guess she wakes up in the morning, doesn't she? Does she
every
milk?
other day. Since I've milked, I milk with her once. And I milk for a week. So, she's doing it every day. But
There's still like a competitive feel in here, and it has to go away if we're gonna succeed.
But see, the thing is, they say, oh, Nikki, you're not doing nothing. I'm not doing anything. People aren't doing anything. You know what? Just because you're building your own shelf, you look busy, like you're doing something. And that's the misconception that I believe people are having. And so that's not part of gossip. That's just what I see. Because I've been looking at the work, like what work is being done and what is being done for in terms of business. And the work, the physical labor here, it is slack. Like there's nothing being done except by you. Josh is trying to knock out the boxes, which the group voted against him.
What do you mean?
To get little pieces that he needs to sell the boxes.
When did that vote happen?
This happened about 2-3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I would say.
Yeah, but did he ever bring it for a revote after the pre-orders were placed?
Josh is having a fit because of Rob, and he said the exact same thing.
Wait, what happened
Josh.
with Rob?
Rob said we're spending $100 on pizza.
That's why I didn't raise my hand.
I didn't either.
I don't even like pizza.
I love pizza, but I know we don't have money.
Did you raise your hand?
No.
Or was me, you, Dedeker, Hex, and Taylor that didn't raise our hands?
No, Hex raised her hand.
After. She didn't want to.
She didn't want to, but that's the kind of mentality that needs to stop.
I know.
Just because it's
but
your
I
friend.
said it. I called her out. I'm like, Hex, you don't want to do it. Why are you raising your hand?
He said. So, it's just interesting. And I'm not saying my way's the better way, but things need to be changed.
I know, and that's why, like, I'm open to hearing what Cal wants to do, because what he wants to do is something different. Just the way he goes about it is what's uncomfortable.
What's going on with him?
What do you mean?
Where were you
Well,
guys?
he said I distanced myself from him, but
He said that?
yeah, but like that's how I am. Like sometimes, like I'm not like a clingy person. Maybe he's used to girls that are like clingy or something. Like I'm very independent. And I think he tried to say like I didn't talk to him for 2 days. But I don't know when that happened. And so I'm like just confused. Just because I'm not sleeping next to him, like I don't want to sleep next to you maybe every night. Maybe some nights I'm gonna want to and some nights I'm not. I actually have said in my like since before coming here and for a long time, like I feel like when I'm married, I'd love to have my bedroom and then my husband can have his bedroom. Because that's why like I don't feel, or if I ever live with someone, not even that's why like I don't even know about marriage, because it makes you like bound to the person. You know what I mean? Like I like my space. I really like my space. You know?
I can't argue with you there.
Like, I'm not kidding. I really want separate bedrooms.
I wouldn't go that far. But it'd definitely be a big enough house.
We still sleep together at night, but there's just... Our stuff is in two places.
Oh,
Maybe with an adjoining bathroom. You know what I mean? And so it's like, if I want to go in, whatever. I've always been like that. I've been saying that for years, that I'm just like, and I guess when somebody get my period, I'm a little bit more like, just
direct.
More like, keep the distance. Like, it's a joke in my family. If someone's acting up, we'll be like, just bleed already. You know? Or it's like, go hide. Go lock yourself in your room. Because sometimes it's just like, just let me be. And then people get me and be like, oh, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong. Just leave me alone.
I'm like that probably about 50% of the time. In my own life, I am. That's probably why it is hard. And it seems like for instance, the guys that I've dated, they always say, you just don't care. And I'm like, no, I care. I like being alone, having my space.
Don't get me wrong, like, I'm affectionate and all that stuff. It's just timing, and it's not every second of the day.
Or you gotta call and check in, and you gotta, hey babe, what are you doing? Okay, then what are you gonna do? Where are you at? Where are you gonna go? Okay, who are you with? Okay, can I come? Okay, can we meet up? Can we be there? Are you gonna go there? Okay, I'll see you. Give me 10 minutes. Give me 5. You hang up. No, you hang up. None of that.
For me, it's why I really like my morning practice to be just me. Because that's like my guarantee that that's me time for the day. It's like my guaranteed me time, no matter how busy my day gets. I have that time. And it's important to have time for ourselves. Okay, even today he talked about that. He's like, well, if you invited me, I would join you on the dock. And in my head, I'm like, I don't want to invite you to do yoga with me in the morning. You can do yoga on your own. And I'm glad to lead a session for other people that want to do it. But when I'm doing yoga, I just want to do it. Like, you know, the point is so that I could be a better teacher. So I could be a better person. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's the only time that it allows, you know, that I'm allowed to have that time.
You are.
I thought that was really interesting when you said that he would join me on the dock if I invited him. I was like, I really
He sure does talk a lot for someone who doesn't like to talk. I just find that interesting.
I think he likes to talk when he likes to talk.
Yeah. But talking.
I would love if everyone did yoga and if there was like a group class. I would love that. It doesn't necessarily mean like during
your private time.
It's more like, because teachers have to do their own practice. Like, if I didn't do yoga, like, what kind of yoga teacher would I be? You know what I mean? Like, it's really important to practice what you preach, you know?
Right. I mean, you can't be missing all your teeth and then preach to people about keeping their, or, you know, oral health care.
Exactly.
The prevention side, or, you know. I was like, dude, you're missing all your teeth.
That's the same why, though, like, when people make comments about me doing yoga, in my mind, I'm like, guys, I'm teaching yoga classes here. I don't understand, like, why I'm getting slack for doing yoga. You know?
I don't know. Do they have a bromance budding over there? Josh and Cal, the unlikely duo.
So I wonder if what Josh said, like, affected him a little bit. Yesterday, we're all at the table. It was the three of us, me, Cal, and Josh. And Josh goes, I don't get it, dude. And he's like, you make her bed, you do this, you cook for her, because he just made me popcorn. He's like, but something's missing, meaning like his cat doesn't have me.
Josh is a hater. That's number one.
I know, but then I said, you know, Josh, you're right. Because I was just telling Dedeker too. I was like, there's something.
It's gone.
Like, there's something that, like, I want to like him in that way, but there's something I don't know if it's something he's doing, or I think it's like I sometimes feel like he's acting like a dad. No one wants to date their dad. Yeah, because he like tells me all the things he wants. He's like, things are going so nicely, or like, I can't describe it.
Yeah, because you're the one dealing with it.
Yeah. We had a whole talk today though, and he does really mean well, and it's really wonderful that he's like looking to support my growth as a person. Like, I do really appreciate that. But I basically told him to like
back off.
No, just to like listen to his own actions. Like, reverse psychology is real, and if I'm feeling pressured in any way, I'm purposely going to want to rebel. Because it's true. And I know that's obviously a lesson I have to learn. But I feel like I've tried not to do that with yoga. Like, I let people come to me. Like, I'm not like, everyone let's do yoga right now. You know? Or even with the eating, I feel like I've just tried to take it upon myself to order stuff. I can't control it, you know, what Aaron cooks, and obviously he still keeps doing the same thing, so it's not.
Yeah. The food stuff, though, should have been nipped in the bud long time ago. Low.
But it's also like, I'm not the only person who's affected. You don't eat his food. What's her name? Bella. Josh and Ernesto are unhappy.
I think someone said, I'm just wasting away.
Oh, someone else said that,
I don't remember who said it. Someone said they were wasting away. I don't know.
The portion sizes are still really small. I don't understand.
And when do you start?
On Tuesday.
Oh, you're going to start on Tuesday.
Well, that's what I think. I guess I have to sit down with Bree. The thing is that it's going to happen anyway. It's just a matter of if Bree allows it to happen during her time. So my goal is like as healthy as possible, but really my goal is going to be like a lot of food. And I want to have like snacks during, like, even if there's popcorn during the day. Like, so people can snack on, so that no one has to feel hungry.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, all of our money that we get should not be going to food.
All of mine is still.
It shouldn't be going to food. It should be going to the things that we want. Not to our basic necessities.
I also wonder, though, about our budgeting. Like, are we even spending enough money on food? Like, I asked,
girl, $200?
For 15 people? Meaning, you think that's a lot or a little?
That's a little.
Right, that's what I mean. Like,
for grown people?
Exactly. Like, I don't understand why we're not budgeting our money differently. And then making a $10 floor, like, I'm just confused. Like,
$10 floor is in, you know, just in case.
Right, but even that floor, I'm not sure if that's sufficient. Given that only
no money.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
Right. But I can see we're there, but we're not. Everyone's not there yet. We're there, not you and I, but the
people have
there.
To come to wake up. To realize.
Yes.
Like, I think
it's just
some people came in here wanting to live a simple life, which I agree. A simple life doesn't mean, though, that you don't have a bed and that you don't have enough food to eat. So I'm not looking to live in luxury. However, basic necessities should be met, and they're not.
I think food should never be an issue. That's number one.
Right.
Number two, unless we had $200 left, there was no other money. Then you try to, you know, reevaluate the situation and try to figure something out. But food should never be. I'm just tired of food being an issue. And then, of course, people not speaking up about it.
I can't believe we're still having this conversation about food.
It's bizarre. Too much. I mean,
I'll be interested to see if it can be pulled off. The thing is that having people not be resistant to what's made. Like, for example, if you cook oatmeal, you see how big it gets.
mm-hmm.
Everyone's like filling their thing, like almost full, and then putting hot water.
And it's just dried oats.
Exactly. And it would feed.
And then you add way more water and a little less oatmeal, and it's a problem.
Yeah. You see how I cook it. I probably put the least amount of oatmeal of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I just put the more water. And people like...
You put a pot of water in it. And if that's your prerogative, then there's no... That's why I can't deal with stuff like that. I mean, you're handling it better than I would.
Thank you.
Yeah, so...
Well, Cal tells me I'm throwing tantrums.
Are you? About the oatmeal?
No, about
the things, food?
About the food stuff. Because, like, I guess 2 nights this week, Aaron, like, didn't make food. Like, he didn't have the restrictions in mind, and he just cooked whatever.
So he's saying, Cal...
So I guess I'm just supposed to
suck it up and like just figure it out, like kind of.
Or
like
it's more like, why wasn't I making my own food in the first place if I'm not happy?
I think you should be making your own food. You should have been making your own food a month ago.
I guess it was trying to keep harmony in the kitchen, and I didn't want Aaron to think I was personally attacking him or his food.
No.
And I think either way, though, he still doesn't like me because he thinks I'm personally attacking him when I don't even know him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
I
feel like
had to sit down talk.
No, and I feel like we've tried, and it just hasn't happened, and I can't force him to, and so Cal made the point that I should be like just showing him love, 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 no matter what. But it's hard for me when someone's mean to me. Like, it's really hard for me to just like stand there. It's one thing, like, I can easily just like not give him any energy, and that's kind of what I do. Like, I talk to him if I need to, and like I'm polite when I do.
But that means you're avoiding him, so that is energy that you're using.
Oh, I'm not avoiding him.
Not avoiding,
I just
but
like
if you purposely do not speak to someone and they're present.
No, like you saw, like when we were talking about the religion thing after church that day, I still talk to him when an opportunity presents itself.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, like, I don't, like, for example, I set up a date with Dedeker to go on the other side of the lake. Like, Mike and I might go on the boat later. Like, you know, like, we don't do that, though. Aaron and I, you know?
No, and I don't think he would be open to do that.
Right, he hasn't, because I've asked him, remember after the whole fight over there when he yelled at me?
So the purpose of you keeping peace in the kitchen and harmony hasn't worked.
Right, like it's like he doesn't want to talk to me anyway,
so why not do your own thing?
That's true, and especially since you're doing it.
Yeah, and I still talk to him, and then shoot, I just might vote him off.
Mm-hmm.
Because if this is an issue, I mean...
Well, because the other thing is
Bella,
we haven't established...
One thing today, that I heard you talk to her briefly, that me hearing was brief, but you told her to walk away.
I did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yesterday, you told her to walk away from problems.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. I heard something like that.
Like if she's really upset that she can...
So you're giving her tools that she can use.
Yeah, I ended up talking to her.
So that's what and that was my point. She needed tools to move forward, or it's just going to keep on repeating.
Right.
So that's what I was telling you yesterday. Today, she had a set off. She was triggered.
Did she walk away?
She got up. She said... You know, and she started defending herself, and she said, "I'm just gonna walk away." She got up and walked away, and she came out.
Bella.
And I said, "Bella, you know what? You did a great job walking away." And she was like, "Thank you. You noticed."
Aww.
And I said, "Yes, you walked away,
Aww.
and that's better."
That's nice of you for love.
Mm-hmm. And so that's the part where I was talking about moving forward. It's not enough for us to sit back and just take it. At some point, somebody has to talk to her and let her know, give her something else.
It's great that she took that advice.
Yes. Now, if she goes from here and she starts, because it's a work in progress, and she'll relapse. She will. And, you know, she'll be set off and triggered again and all. But if she can remember more often than not to walk away and then come back, her biggest thing is she wanted someone to hear her. When I was talking to her, and she was like, "I just wanted to let them know." And I was like, well, just because you're ready doesn't mean they're ready. So you got to walk away still and fight when someone's ready. because they're not going to hear you regardless if you say it or not.
Right.
And then she was like, oh yeah, you're right, and that's what I try to do in my daily life. And I was like, okay, Bella. But
well, that's good to hear.
She used the words, I walked away. I'm going to walk away. And she gathered her stuff, and then she found herself starting to yell back and forth. Like, she physically walked away, but you got to remove yourself from a situation, when you say walk away. And she didn't remove herself from the situation. She just walked away. And I was like, oh, she's going to blow it. She's going to blow it.
Did she?
And then she realized, she's like, I'm yelling across. I want to finish my conversation, but I'm going to leave the room. And she walked out.
She did? Oh, yeah. Great.
So she just didn't yell back and forth. Like, she keeps coming back and leaves and comes back and leaves.
That's awesome.
So it's going to take some time. And, maybe she is delusional. I know I found that out.
Well, the reason why I found it out was because Cal was telling me about the plants that were planted. Like, buckwheat is a cover crop. If anything, it's going to shield the crops that we want to be able to eat. It's going to shield those. And so and apparently it's not very nutritious. Like, I'm not familiar with it.
Buckwheat. I thought that was the name of some boy or somewhere with the buck tooth or something.
Like, I'm not familiar with, like, eating it as, like, because apparently I guess you're supposed to eat it like that, but I'm not surprised that she didn't want to pick it, because she said you just eat it, like, as, like, salad when we were planting it. And so if it's this grown, like,
how come we're not eating it?
Yeah, so I think, like, little things make me realize that maybe she really
I think the fact that she read that you can eat it, and she took it and ran with it. Like,
I think she got it from a book, though.
She did. She had all her things in the beginning.
But I mean, I've been learning a lot in the garden from Cal, so that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I believe he's a farmer. I mean, anyone who wants to play in cow poo when it's still green, that's a farmer. That's someone who knows something about something.
Anyone who wants to what?
Play in cow poo when it's still green.
Yeah, he makes like a tea. Well, he puts water and then he puts the liquid from it.
Yeah. It was all soapy green.
My hands are so dry from washing them so much with soap now. Now but see how clean my hands are even though I'm in the garden? But they're dry and I don't have lotion. I may have to borrow some of your lotion.
You can use a dab or two. Put a little oil with it. It would stick. Yeah, it's a crazy, crazy world.
I was actually reading over there and my hands felt so dry. I want to wear gloves, but he's like, it's better not to use gloves.
Oh, Nikki.
No, but it's true. Like, I feel a little clumsy with gloves because it's like second skin. You know what I mean?
What if you use, like, I don't know, I would say even latex gloves or something.
No, ill.
Ill?
Ill, I don't want, like, those chemicals on me.
From latex?
I don't want those chemicals.
From latex?
I don't want those chemicals.
You're a doctor.
I don't want those chemicals
What are you going to use? Cloth when you're operating?
Those chemicals. We don't use latex gloves anymore in hospitals.
Well, what kind of gloves do you use?
Like these other kinds that aren't
use that kind. Something that gives you that where you can almost feel.
Oh, that feels good. Can you do that again?
No, that was your feet, and I just realized it.
Do it right there.
No. There you go.
It feels so good to have human touch. Maybe I'm lacking in human touch.
I can't prescribe you anything, and I'm not going to fulfill it. Maybe because it's, like, sore there or something.
It's not sore. It just feels good.
Why is it red?
Does this feel good?
No. It feels weird. Okay.
Amanda!
Wait.
No, I have clothes on. You have to do it on my skin.
No.
What do you mean? It doesn't feel like that.
That's weird. Who goes around touching people?
I'm not going around touching people. This doesn't feel good.
No, it just feels weird.
It doesn't feel weird. Who says our friend touching your arm makes you feel weird?
My friends don't do that.
Yeah, but just feel it. Does it feel weird or does it feel good or does it feel bad?
It feels weird.
Why?
It's just weird.
It feels good.
That feels good. You're like,
it does.
So when you're having a conversation, you just, So, girl, I went to the market.
Yeah.
And when I went, oh my gosh.
So sweet. Don't you think?
It's so sweet.
It is sweet.
It's so sweet.
You don't think it's sweet?
Maybe.
I was like, oh, Amanda. That doesn't feel sweet.
No, it feels weird.
So do you ever get massages?
No.
Oh my gosh, this is why. I love massages.
Oh.
Like, love. They're so good for you.
If I go to somewhere to get a massage,
yeah.
That would be
Is
okay,
that
because that's their profession. And then I say, just keep me covered up.
Do you keep your underwears on when you get a massage?
Yeah.
You do?
Why? You see my cheeks if you didn't. I'm not trying to expose my cheeks.
With my underwear, you see my cheeks anyway.
You can't. Oh my gosh. I don't even know why.
Do you wear granny panties?
Granny panties? Don't worry about the panties I wear. Just know I ain't got no complaints. Just joking. I don't show.
You got the fast. You got the guys doing the fast.
I like. No, what's that?
I don't know. You said the fast from Texas or something.
Oh, you starting rumors. I don't know. You starting rumors. No, I don't. I like nice underwear.
Mhm.
I just don't prefer them to go up my bottom part, but
you don't feel them.
I used to not feel them. I feel them now.
Now that you're an old lady.
Yeah. Hey, someone was right. They told me you're not a woman until you have a kid. No, you're not you're a woman, of course, but you're not a real woman until you have. I technically haven't had one.
Haven't had one what?
A kid,
Mm-hmm.
but
you feel like
it makes a difference.
It's made you wiser.
Not wiser. I've always been a wise old soul.
I've been wise.
Although I've gotten in trouble in my
quite
days.
Wise. You got in trouble?
I used to get in trouble all the time.
Like what?
Because I can't stop talking. I can't just.
Yeah, I used to.
I'm like, what? What did you say?
I used to get in trouble with my mom.
I ask her why.
Yes.
Same. Oh no,
Not
my mom.
Well, now I know when I have children, I have to explain everything.
Yeah, no. Now I'm learning. You ain't gotta explain everything.
Really?
I have
to explain it. To
my brother's baby's mama, if you want to put it. She explains everything to her kids where it's inappropriate. And I don't physically...
In what way? That's your judgment that it's inappropriate.
Oh, no, Nikki. Some things you
give
just
me
can't
an
explain to a
example.
kid because it's none of their business.
Example.
Okay, so we were at a function, right?
Uh-huh.
A family function, and the kids came.
Mhm.
And another kid comes who's not related to the family. And she goes, oh, and the kids are like, oh, who's that? And then she goes, oh, well, that's such and such. And her mother's not here because her mother's in prison. And since her mother is in prison, we can't find her dad. And so now she's adopted by the family there. And so she doesn't know her parents. And she's explaining all this little girl's business. And I'm like, shut up. Like, why would you tell a kid that? And they're like, Mom, does that mean that her parents don't love her? Well, I can't be sure because I haven't had a chance to ask. And I'm like, shut up. Like, who are you talking to? These are some kids you're talking to. And the kids are like, you're adopted? I didn't know you were adopted. I had a friend once at school who's adopted. Their parents didn't love them either. And I was like, why would you say something like that? And, our family, my mom's a pastor, so it's always people coming over from all walks of life.
You're adopted?
Yes. And that's how naive these two little kids are.
Oh, that's sad.
And, she explains, I didn't know such and such I thought she was in a relationship with such and such. Oh, no, that's not what happened. One day she went to the movies and met a man, and that man swept her off her feet. And so instead of her going home that night, she went home with him. And when she went home with him, the two of them had intercourse. You know how I told you how a boy meets a woman, and I'm like...
How old is the kid?
This has been happening since they were able to speak. So...
Well, I wonder what's the development like with them.
Now, these two kids is crazy. They know way too much. They're just way too much. They know a lot, but they're not mature.
So then how does that manifest?
So they'll make, they think they'll know something, the whole picture, they take things as for fact of how things are. So all kids who come from this way must be this way, because that's what my mom told me. All people this way must be this way because that's what my mom told me. Everybody who goes to the movies and meet a man, they're going home and cheating on their husband. Like, because, and that's because they lack the maturity of understanding, well,
like it's a case by case.
It's a case by case thing. And that's why you can't explain to the kids. And I'm figuring that out now.
Well, certain things, like obviously if a kid, but it's also like, at what age do you decide to tell your child about intercourse or those things? Because
when they're ready and they ask about it.
Right. So let's say if at the age of like 5, a kid hears a word and says, "Mom, what's a condom?" or "Mom, what's sex?" or whatever. At 5, do you tell them?
I mean, you can tell a kid. That's a gray area depending on the parent, because some parents, the reason why I would say no, you don't tell them, because some parents aren't comfortable and so they say the wrong things. And not necessarily wrong, but they say things that are inappropriate, or they go about it the wrong way. And so how the kid receives the information can be misconstrued, and they can take it one way and then run haywire with it. Or a parent can explain something, and which if a child is asking a question, you should answer it as truthfully as you can.
Right, and I agree with that. I don't believe in lying.
You don't
to anyone, especially
anything.
children. Yeah.
When you keep things from kids, that's when it comes taboo. Like,
right.
I don't want to. Ooh,
exactly.
That's
I was just thinking that, and I think that's a lot of the reason why, like, certain things in our culture are tabooed, because you don't want to tell kids, and then they find out in school in a different way that makes it like risque or whatever.
And it could be wrong information,
right?
Because a kid can be telling another kid something, and it can be totally wrong.
But I remember I'm trying to think how old we were when I feel like it was being talked about on the block, like, you know, when all the kids outside are playing, and like they talked about, and it was kind of around the time I was probably around 9, and so my sister was 7, my younger sister, and but I remember there was a girl in elementary school that brought her dad's like Playboy magazines to school, because she found them and she was like, oh my God, you know.
So that's like taboo. Somebody told that little girl that's not good, or so it went two ways. Either she thought it was totally acceptable. Things that are totally acceptable, you don't present to the group because it's already accepted. It's not like, it's not that thing like, ooh, look what I got.
I feel like she probably found it at home and her mom was like, no, don't touch these or whatever. And so
now instead of saying, oh, that's a magazine, and adults look at that magazine. There's magazines for you. Do you want me to get you a magazine? No, that's what you do.
Right, you replace it instead of saying no. You always replace the behavior.
You never say no, and you never say yes.
Exactly.
You say, oh, and oh doesn't make it right or wrong.
Right.
And
so you don't have them make judgments or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's just a tip that I learned. You never say, I'm going to do this. No, or yes. You just say, oh.
There's a, and it has to do with this idea that a good teacher doesn't tell a child what to see, but where to look. Right. And so it's like, I remember things were told to me as a kid, and I feel like they're like such truths because it was right when my brain was ready to receive. And so even little things, right, about like thinking how seeds grow fruit in your belly, like all these silly things that people say to kids. But it's like, you know, like that's why it's crazy that teachers make such a low income, because they really have such a strong influence on every child's future. And so if they're making the income for teachers be like minimum wage practically, how do they expect to have top quality teachers?
That's why I can't do it. Right. And it takes the morale away from the teacher as well. You know, you're struggling. And how do you give your all when your energy is based off of surviving, you know? And God forbid something personal happen in your family, a death, a baby, a marriage, you know, anything. That's a lot to deal with. A lot of people, they just don't look at it that way. They look at it as parents, and I blame parents, because if parents advocated for teachers more, they would have it, but they don't see it. They say,
like, my child's perfect and the teacher's doing the wrong thing.
The teacher's doing it wrong. She said something wrong. He did something. or that's not my problem. I'm off. You have my kid till 3. I'll come pick up my kid by 3:30, and so it's your turn. You handle it. And
it would be cool if like teaching was a second profession. It was like after you've already completed a career, you then go back to teach because you're wiser, you experience life, and I feel like that would be really beautiful because then you've had experience in the world, and
that would be ideal. But teaching takes so much energy that if you were to complete a career, or not even complete, but have it as a second career, I do believe teaching will always be a backup thing for me. Like, that would always be a backup thing for me. But if you, let's say I'm 50 and, you know, I have bad knees and I'm teaching 3rd grade, you know, but what 3rd graders are active, you know, they want to do things.
Yeah, but you're not the gym teacher and you're not there for recess. Generally, you have the powers or the aides.
But see, that's where a lot of things go wrong. And for a child, there's different ways children learn. And you can't learn, not every kid is going to learn from sitting at their desk looking at the board.
Well, so that's the other thing. I was going to ask you, what are your theories on education? So I'm all about progressive, like not having them have tests and making everything cater to their interests and finding ways to teach within the child's interest to capture their attention.
That's number one. If a kid likes bugs, something simple as bugs.
You can add and subtract bugs.
You can add and subtract bugs.
Great. We still have the same view.
You can do science, you can read, you can write, you can do art. Everything
around bugs.
It's
true. Did you see that TED Talk with that kid? And he was basically like, what do I want to be when I grow up? And he was like 13, and he was a 13-year-old giving a TED Talk. And he essentially was like, I want to be happy. And like, it's not about making money or like acing tests. It's like, I'm interested in it. So even as a 13-year-old, he has an internship as a 13-year-old. And yeah, so like he gets homeschooled by other kids that are also doing more of a progressive course, and he talks about his curriculum a little, but essentially they're already interning in different fields in different places, because how are you supposed to know what you want to be when you grow up when you haven't been exposed to anything?
Things. And
also nature is one day a week where they go like hiking or a field trip.
That's something that's missing as well. We're so fixed on gaming and electronics and you know, all these handheld devices that a lot of parents they substitute that for affection. They substitute that for food. They substitute that for time. And it's like, you guys are all going wrong. And it's hard to preach to parents when you're not a parent. But parenting is a skill. It's not. I'm not a mother or a father. Parenting is a skill, and a lot of people get that mixed up. Well, you can't tell me that. You don't know how it is. But I know the outcome because I see it all the time.
Something I've noticed is it's interesting, like, you know, oftentimes people become parents before they're ready. And then I think that's a lot of times where that it's kind of sad that happens in those circumstances, because like maybe the parents don't have enough patience because the timing wasn't right. But it was perfect, but they just, you know, can't see through it. And then you have people that like want to be parents so badly, and they wait later in life, and then it's harder to have children because our biological clocks are not synced with the way the world is happening. So it seems totally insane for a female in her early 20s to have like all these babies, and you're like, haven't you lived a life? However, that's the most fertile time, and that's the best time for us to be having children, is in our early 20s.
Right. And a lot of people, they based a lot of things off age. Well, at this age, you know, they have all these benchmarks.
Right.
And life is not like that. And they do that to kids. And I know my niece is a bright girl, but since she can orally tell you anything, but when it comes to a test and that she's taking,
it makes her nervous or something.
It makes her so nervous.
That's why I don't believe in testing.
She'll rather stop the test or feel whatever she needs to feel, just so she's not the last kid with the test and completely fail and get a secret F, rather than you're still working on the test, you know? And so that's how, you know, things need to be different. And thank God I live in Washington State, where they're
more
being
progressive.
Yes.
Yeah. And the West Coast is more progressive.
They figure out what's working, what's not working. They take things from everywhere and say, oh, let me see those scores, let me see the research that backs it up, and see, okay, we'll implement it in one school for a year and see some results, and then they go like that. And it's not just you're going to work, you're having people in Washington State are in education, they are really accountable for what happens to the kids, and that's different. It used to be, oh well.
Right. The problem in New York with the Board of Ed is teachers get I forgot what it's called. It's basically when your like job is secure and you can't get fired. Tenure.
Yes, and then you get comfortable and you do whatever you want to do,
and that's
like you just show up.
Exactly.
And all your kids are a box of rocks.
Really, it should be based on test score, like how the kids are performing, not tests, but like performance scores, and finding a way to do it that's not necessarily multiple choice.
And that's why I encourage, and I know it sounds bad, but every child should be on an IEP.
What's that?
You know, just their individual plan instead of, and I know that makes it a lot of work for teachers, but if parents were to get involved, the most successful students, their parents are involved. And it's like, you guys don't see that? And then they say, well, I don't have time. Well, you don't have to have time to come in physically, but maybe call your teacher before they come, you know, or send your kid a note to school and say thank you. You know, you have to be involved.
Right.
But kids act out when they know their parents don't.
Well, you know what's strange is like my sister and I were raised in the same household, and we are like polar opposites. Like I was always like, school came really easy, like I would do my homework right away. Like they didn't even have to check to see if Nikki did her homework. But Tony, on the other hand, was like complete opposite. Like didn't even want to go to college, went to beauty school instead. Like, and, you know, and I went all the way to become a doctor, and she didn't even want to go to college. You know, like like she couldn't stand school. But we were raised in the same household, so.
But I think that's okay.
Right, but it's interesting how then sometimes you wonder, is it like a nature that's where you get into like nature nurture, or really it's maybe just different personalities. Like maybe Tony would have learned better if she was outside in nature learning, or who knows, like more in field trips learning, or versus in the classroom. And so that,
and I mean,
that's why sometimes though when you say the whole parent being involved, like she still, despite our parents being the same people, she really struggled with, like, she wasn't in honors classes or anything like that. You know?
And for me, that's okay. That doesn't.
Right.
Now, if she's getting expelled, if she's getting in trouble, if she's.
Which they sent her to private school for high school so that she wouldn't get in trouble.
What did she get in trouble prior to?
I can't remember.
Oh. Because parents.
I'm trying to remember.
And then the whole thing, you being, you may not notice it when you're younger, but when you do well, people, even when
it's like naming, this is the smart child, this is the athletic child. Yeah, it's like self-fulfilling prophecies.
And even though you're in the same house, it still makes a huge difference.
So you're not supposed to label your children.
No, and imagine being a twin. You're compared by not just...
What were you guys compared as?
Compared always.
But like as what?
I was the good twin. I got in the most trouble. But I wasn't sneaky. I just didn't talk a lot. Like I would listen, and then do what I needed to do, and let someone explain something, and do whatever I wanted to do.
Your sister's more vocal.
Yeah, she'll say no, and she's more sensitive. But since she was labeled the bad one. I was like, why am I the bad one? I'm not going to do it. You do it, Amanda. You do it. Everybody says you're the good twin. And then you're just constantly compared. And
I want to meet her.
Different.
I really want to meet her.
Well, you guys both can get naked together.
Why do you think that of me? I'm not the nudist here. It's Dedeker. It's not me.
Well, she loves to be naked.
She can go get naked with Dedeker then. She can hug me and cuddle me if she wants, but not naked.
Not naked? Okay. She'll be like, oh, man. And she doesn't mean anything by it. She just wants to be free.
Same. That's why I'm wearing shorts right now. I like less clothes, but I'm not gonna walk around naked.
She likes it. In her house. I was gonna say.
Yeah, in my house it's different. And it's not even all the time. I really like to be in underwear, and that's it. That's kind of comfortable.
That's the one thing she doesn't want to be in. She'll wear clothes.
But if I'm home and I'm wearing certain pants, I might wear underwear underneath my pants. Do you know what I mean?
No.
She does.
She does.
Just saying.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know.